Welcome to episode 9 of the Alter Bridge universe, where I'm reviewing every full-length album recorded by a member of Alter Bridge. Today is a big day because we finally reached the first Alter Bridge album, which marks the start of a new chapter in this group's story. One Day Remains is the first album in this series to feature all 4 members of the band, obviously, and one of only 2 albums where Myles sings but does not play guitar. There's nothing quite like this record, so let's break it down. Having now listened to Creed and the Mayfield 4, I have a much better understanding of this album's context and significance. It seemed like in the time leading up to the breakup, Mark and Scott Phillips' creativity were being stifled by pressure and tension in Creed, and One Day Remains was their way of escaping that and letting their raw talent just flow. Compared to Weathered, this album is full of life and vigor. It sounds fresh and exciting, even 2 decades later. A major contributor to this new sound is Mark's guitar solos. Creed rarely featured the guitar, but on this record, Mark has multiple excellent solos in songs like Find the Real, Burn It Down, and Down to My Last. The last song in particular has a standout solo, but not necessarily for a good reason. Some of Mark's note choices are strange and outside the song's tonal center to the point where they sound noticeably out of place. I've learned to enjoy the solo for what it is, but I have to admit, it was an acquired taste. He went for some experimental ideas in this one, and not all of them worked, but the overall solo is still one of my favorites. It's like the gremlin character in a movie or TV show that everybody just loves, even though they're weird and kind of morally gray and they get into a lot of trouble. Alter Bridge's guitar solos increase in both quantity and quality with future records, so we'll dig more into this topic in upcoming episodes. Another factor in Alter Bridge's new sound is the vocals. If anyone were to claim that this band is just Creed 2.0, I'd point them to the man, the myth, the legend, Myles Kennedy. Myles already proved himself a cut above the rest in his work with the Mayfield 4, but Alter Bridge is where he finally spread his wings and learned to fly. Take a look at Open Your Eyes, In Loving Memory, or Shed My Skin, 3 of the most emotional songs from this record. Myles delivers an incredible performance with equally awesome lyrics. His voice is still a little weighted, like he's really pushing hard to produce the sound, but his tone and pitch have improved since Second Skin. Some of his best moments are actually accompanied by this weight, like the crazy macho belt at the end of Find the Real, or his high-pitched wails during the bridge of the revered track Metalingus. Occasionally, he chooses some odd notes that don't sound the best, like in the second verse of Burn It Down, but those moments are never bad enough to actually be considered bad. Every song in this record is a unique demonstration of his awesome technical ability, and no other record so far has matched his performance on One Day Remains. Myles is not the only musician who's improved with this record though. All 3 instrumentalists are at the best for their time, and the parts are loose and expressive compared to the last couple of records. This can be heard in one of Alter Bridge's biggest fan favorites, In Loving Memory. The song is a bittersweet dedication to Mark's mother, who passed 2 years before the album was released, and you can hear the somberness in the instrumentals. This song just wouldn't work if it was stiff and overdramatic, but the band is unrestricted and they just let the music flow naturally. It's a popular song for a reason. Many people can relate to the pain of losing a loved one, but Alter Bridge delivers a beautiful memorial that does the very heavy subject matter justice. Despite being old enough to vote in the United States, One Day Remains has aged like a fine wine. There are a handful of spots that show the band's youth and lack of precision, but that's to be expected from a new group trying to find their footing. Of all the debut albums I've reviewed so far, this one has been my favorite, and even though it has a few songs that I don't seek out on a daily basis, none of its 11 tracks fail to impress me in some way. For a final score, I'm giving One Day Remains by Alter Bridge an 8.7 out of 10. Let me know your favorite songs from One Day Remains in the comments below. In tomorrow's video, we're looking at the next album in the Alter Bridge discography, Blackbird. So if you've missed any reviews so far, check them out here so that way you're caught up on everything in this series. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.